So Simon, what's your opinion on COVID the past couple of years? A lot of people think it's dangerous. A lot of people think it's no big deal. What do you think about it?
I think it was definitely potentially dangerous to those with pre-existing health problems and whatnot, especially like elderly people and people in my family for sure. I was concerned about them getting COVID more than myself, although I still took precautions, got vaxxed myself and, made sure that people close to me did the same.
Did you get all the boosters, or how many did you get?
I just got one booster, so I'm not completely caught up. However, um, people that were closer to me and were more worried about it did get all the boosters. I personally did it, but
So would it be fair to say you got them because you were concerned about your own health, not so much that like people were mandating you?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I felt like it was like my choice, right? Like if people really don't want to get vaxxed, like they shouldn't be. I don't feel like they should be mandated to do so. I think during the lockdown it could be different, but then coming out of that, since cases have dropped significantly compared to then, even though there is a hike more recently, I think still like it should be their own decision.
How
Because it's like more similar to like a flu shot, right? Like eventually COVID's just become similar to flu where like there's going to be like probably a yearly booster or whatnot, right? Some people don't get the flu shot, some people do, and it's kind of, their choice. But
how do you feel about the people that lost their jobs because they didn't get vaccinated or got kicked out of college?
I personally think that's a little ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I think like losing your job over something that is kind of, your choice, right? And up to your own decision. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know people here that are not vaxxed. I'm not going to say names, obviously, but,
Right.
I'd be
So,
very surprised if they got kicked out. Like, I think, they're putting themselves at risk at the end of the day. If you're vaxxed yourself, then, that's, you're all set. And if they are not vaxxed, then, that's their decision and they're putting themselves at risk. But I don't
so
think
wait,
people.
why wouldn't you want to say their names? Like, obviously, don't say their names. So you don't want to. But what would make you not want to say their names?
Because I think some people, like, there's, like, kind of like a stigma to people that aren't vaxxed, right? Because I think the majority of people are vaxxed, especially at a liberal arts school where, like, you know, I would say, young population, a lot of, progressive, quote unquote, people that, feel like the vaccination is important. Um, but there are, religious or, other factors you have to consider for people that don't get vaxxed and whatnot. So,
My body, my choice.
yeah, type B, different case, but yeah, you could say that.
So I know you said that you didn't get all the boosters. If someone from the government, someone CDC, World Health Organization, CNN, Fox News, someone on the TV, or someone at the school says you need to get vaccinated, they bring back the vax mandates and they say Simon needs to get updated on all his boosters. What's your next move? Are you going to comply?
What would be the consequence if I didn't?
Let's say you get kicked out of college and you lose your job.
It's not that deep to me, and I've already gotten the vaccination before, so if it was mandated, absolutely, I was going to lose my job, um, I'd get kicked out of school, then I would definitely get the vaccination.
So, like, would you be willing to do that for the rest of your life?
For the rest of my life, every year, I would not do it for the rest of my life. I think if it was like periodically spikes, we highly suggest or, under extreme circumstances mandate. But for the rest of my life, have to get a vax every year. I think that's a little OD. I don't think I would do that.
Are you concerned at all with giving the government that power that you either comply or you lose your job?
I mean, is that the government's power or is that within the company itself? I heard it's like kind of within the company and school itself. Like they kind of have these regulations, right? You need to be vaxxed if you want to work in the workplace, and if not, like we're gonna either fire you, kick you out of school. Um,
I guess I'm referring to like a CDC recommendation,
yeah.
and then businesses going off of that or
Right.
colleges.
Okay.
I know F&M is a private university, but I guess I'm referring to other universities
Yeah.
that are public.
Okay. So sorry, what's your question?
Do you think us like individuals giving up that power to be able to refuse to put something in our body, are you concerned at all with that?
Um, a little bit. I mean, I guess for me, I haven't really done a lot of research on the vaccine itself, but I entrust the FDA that have approved these vaccines, so that trust, allows me to like feel confident that there's not going to be detrimental side effects when I get vaccinated.
Last question. So, one of the purposes of this interview is just to talk about controversial things, and there's some things I agree with you on. There's some things I disagree, but we can like have a civil conversation and find some common ground and have an open dialogue. Um, how do you feel about like? Do you think these conversations normally, like in the classroom or out in the world, are they? Do people avoid them, or is it like a taboo topic if you're vaccinated or not?
No, I definitely think it's something that people avoid, and not even specific to this. I think any kind of political or religious situation, because I think people get heated, and I think people are entitled to their own opinion, and I think once you try to turn your opinion into a fact and use that as like a argumentative point, then I don't feel like that allows for anyone to be grow as a person at all, right? So if you can have an open-minded conversation. Um, I mean, I feel like changing someone's mind is a very powerful thing to do, um, but there's like a respectful way to go about that. You know what I mean? So I think in any political conversation, I think that procedure should be followed, and I think more conversations like this should happen. So
I appreciate it, Simon.
yeah,
Nice to meet you.
likewise.